Well, everyone, I had an interesting day. I walked into Barnes & Noble and saw this. And it was Bandai. And the first thing that went through my head, they got a new toy out? Super Mini Pla. And there's the price, but I'm a Barnes & Noble member, so I didn't pay that. And it has all 5 lines of Voltron, although this guy looks weird. I don't know who that is. Okay? Then it shows the 5 lines, and it shows Voltron, and it shows optional parts on the side, and Voltron. And I was worried it wasn't a model kit, and then if you start reading, it does say model kit right there. It says Super Mini Plum Model Kit. So I'm going to open this up and let's see what's inside this box. I know they've been redoing some of the giant robots, like Mazinger Z and a few others. I know in Japan you can buy these things pretty readily, but here it's hard to get them. And I like Voltron because there's a Voltron TV show on Netflix, and it's actually been pretty good. And you open this up, it sure is a model kit. You have directions sealed up. Okay? We have transforming directions on how to transform the lions. Now, I don't know if the lions actually transform, or you get a lion and then you get Voltron separately. We'll figure that out in a little bit. You do have a pack with pre-painted stuff, it looks like. Like the blue lion has a nice pre-painted shield on its chest. There's the black lion head. It looks pre-painted. The sword. There's some eyes for Voltron right there. There's some foil stickers. That's a nice little pack. We have color molded parts. One of the things I don't like about Bandai's silver is this looks fake. It doesn't look good. And we have more pre-painted parts. So this is not a complete model kit. I mean, it's not completely like we would think of as a model kit. A lot of this is pre-painted. A lot of sprue in here. Awful lot of sprue. And it looks like they're set up by lions. In other words, here's line number 3. This doesn't have anything labeled on it. This doesn't have any, it has a 5 labeled on it though. So it looks to me like there's numbers on these things. This one right here has a 2 labeled on it. And this looks like it's going to build something large. There's that little shield on Voltron's chest. This is probably blue and green line, or just green line. It has a number 4 on it. Alright, now I'm curious. Because when I look at this, I am not seeing a complete Voltron in some ways. What I mean by that, and I'll never get this back in the box. I'll have to replay the video just to figure out how to fit this back in this box. Because, yeah, well, I'm getting pretty good with it. That's not right. It won't close correctly there. Because I didn't see what I thought I might see. So it is not a separate Voltron from the lions. It looks like you build the lions and then you transform it. Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of directions. We have a direction for each line. Like we look at the black line. You have a set of directions just for the black line. They are 2-sided, and then it shows you how to start transforming the black line. So the lines do turn into Voltron. Kind of figured they would, knowing Bandai. And then we look at the red line. And it is in English, partially in English, so they did expect to sell it over here. I saw this once somewhere, and then the red line comes apart and gets transformed, and it shows you how to transform the red line. Now, this isn't a pure transformation, like if you bought what's called a Godaikin, because back then, some of the toy companies were just insanely clever. Poppy. and they made a Go Line. This used to be called Go Line in Japan. They made a Go Line which transformed, and then they were metal and they transformed, and I have one downstairs, still in the box. So I've been a Voltron fan since I first saw it in a toy store. I saw the Godaikin Go, or the Poppy Go Line in a toy store, and I was just like, I have to have one. So here's the green line. So it looks like you have 5 different model kits, and then it transforms. And it looks to me a little bit like they're cheating a bit. So they did the body already in the shape of the arms and the legs. But what do you expect, right? It is a model kit, for heaven's sakes. We got our blue line. Looks like all the lines are pretty standard when you put them together. Now, the blue line doesn't transform like the other 2 lines do, the red or green. Since it's a foot, it goes through a much stronger transformation. And you got parts you're taking on and off. So you're going to have a pile of extra parts when you put this together that are even on the line or not. I just didn't really expect to find this today, and I saw it and I was like, I gotta buy this. Being a Voltron fan. And one of the good things about this is Voltron's not heavily weathered, so this wouldn't be that hard to put together. I don't know if I'd paint it though. And the reason I say that is you got something that transforms as much as this does. Painting it might be a problem, because as you're moving parts around, you're going to scrape up that paint. You're going to mess that paint up. So I don't know how much I would want to paint this. And then we got the transformation into Go Lion. See, it does say Go Lion on there. Transformation into Go Lion Voltron, and it shows you putting all the pieces together. The arms and legs on, and then you get to form the head. I just remember back in like college, Voltron will come out and say, and I will form the head. And it shows how to put the weapons in their hands. And we got a Mega Blaster, which I haven't seen anywhere, and it shows you how to put all the weapons together to make a Mega Blaster. That's interesting. Well, anyhow, this looks like it'll be fun to build. Again, I don't know how much paint I would put on it. It could use some weathering, panel lining to look like more like what you would see on the cartoon. And this might be something you just build without paint, mainly because of painting it might not be so nice. It might not handle paint very well. So we will see. This one might get built somewhat soon, because I'm trying to do a bunch of short little quick projects that are easy to do without eating up a lot of my time, since I'm working so much. Okay, that's what the Batmobile was supposed to be, and it turned into a long-term thing, because I was having trouble with something. I should have corrected that by now. All right, thank you. I will be back in a bit.